as the relentless storms of Roshar continued their eternal dance, carving the very landscape and shaping the lives of its inhabitants. A new and perilous rhythm began to emerge, a discordant beat threatening to shatter the fragile peace humanity had desperately sought. Rhythm of War, the fourth colossal tome in Brandon Sanderson's epic Stormlight Archive, plunges us back into a world teetering on the precipice of an ancient, all-consuming conflict. The narrative unfurls with a sprawling grandeur, weaving together the fates of familiar heroes and newfound allies, all grappling with the terrifying resurgence of the fused and the looming specter of Odium's unyielding wrath. The story opens some time after the momentous Battle of Thalina, a victory that, while hard-won, has only served to escalate the war. Urithiru, the colossal sibling fortress, now stands as the radiant heart of human resistance, a beacon against the encroaching darkness. Navani Kholin, the Blackthorn, a man once consumed by bloodlust and regret, now bears the mantle of High Prince of War, striving to unite humanity under his banner. His vision of a unified Roshar, fighting as one against the fused, is a fragile hope, constantly assailed by internal dissent and the cunning strategies of the enemy. The war has shifted from desperate defense to a more proactive, yet still brutal, engagement. Humanity, bolstered by the re-emergence of the Radiants, is trying to push back, to reclaim what was lost, but the cost is astronomical. Our immediate focus is drawn to the arduous campaign to liberate the former Azish capital, an endeavor that highlights the relentless nature of the conflict. The fused, ancient spren inhabiting the bodies of Parshendi, are not merely warriors. They are beings of immense power, wielding the very forces of Roshar with a devastating proficiency. Their return has plunged the world into an era of unprecedented devastation, a second desolation threatening to eclipse the memory of the first. Kaladin Stormblessed, the quintessential Windrunner, a soldier eternally bound to his duty and plagued by the echoes of 1,000 battles, finds himself at the forefront of this liberation effort. Yet, the war continues to chip away at his soul. The weight of command, the incessant casualties, and the moral ambiguities of warfare are a relentless assault on his already fragile psyche. He is a protector by nature, but the very act of protecting demands unimaginable sacrifice, and Kaladin feels the burden of every life lost, every scream silenced. His struggle with depression, a persistent shadow that clings to him, becomes even more pronounced. The battles he fights outwardly are often less grueling than the ones raging within his own mind. He sees the faces of those he could not save, hears their dying breaths, and questions his own efficacy, his own worth, even as he performs feats of impossible heroism. The very act of swearing the ideals of the Windrunners, which should bring solace and strength, seems to only deepen his self-recrimination, as if the power he wields is a constant reminder of his failures. Meanwhile, Navani Kholin, a woman of sharp intellect and boundless curiosity, has embraced her new role as a knight radiant of the bondsmiths. However, her path diverges from that of a conventional warrior. Navani's battlefield is the laboratory, her weapons are knowledge and innovation. She dedicates herself to unraveling the mysteries of the sibling, the third sibling spren of Urithiru, which remains in a deep, sorrowful slumber. Her goal is to revive the sibling, to restore Urithiru to its full, life-sustaining glory. She delves into ancient texts, meticulously examines the fabrial technology that underpins much of Rosharan society, and performs dangerous experiments, all in pursuit of understanding. Her scientific curiosity, a driving force throughout her life, is now amplified by the urgent need for a breakthrough. She believes that true understanding of the enemy, and of the fundamental forces that govern Roshar, will be the key to humanity's survival. Her bond with the sibling is a profound one, a connection that allows her glimpses into its pain and its profound sense of betrayal, adding a deeply personal dimension to her scientific quest. Her journey is one of discovery, of piecing together the shattered remnants of an ancient truth, and her breakthroughs, though subtle, hold the potential to reshape the entire conflict. Shalon Devar, the enigmatic lightweaver, continues her perilous dance with identity. Her multitude of personas, once a coping mechanism, have become an increasingly complex web, threatening to consume her true self. Radiant, Veil, and the original Shalon. These identities constantly vie for dominance, each representing a different facet of her fractured past and her desperate desire to protect those she loves. Her journey takes her deep into the heart of the occupied territories, specifically to the city of Ciudad de Taker, a city simmering with tension and intrigue. Here, she becomes a spy, using her light-weaving abilities to infiltrate fused strongholds and gather vital intelligence. The stakes are incredibly high, as she navigates a world of deceit, treachery, and ever-present danger. Her internal struggles, the blurring lines between who she is and who she pretends to be, are amplified by the constant pressure of her espionage missions. Each new persona she adopts, Each new deception she weaves pushes her further from her own core, raising the terrifying question of whether she will ever truly find herself again. Her connection to her spren, pattern, is a constant source of support and grounding, but even pattern struggles to understand the depths of Shallan's fragmentation. Her arc is a deeply psychological one, exploring the fragility of self and the lengths to which one will go to survive and protect. The true antagonist, however, is not merely the fused, but the force that drives them. Odium. His influence permeates the conflict, subtly manipulating events and twisting minds. He is a shard of Adonalsium, a fragment of divine power representing pure hatred and divine wrath. His ultimate goal is to break Dalinar, to force him to become his champion, and thereby subjugate Roshar entirely. His cunning and insidious nature are a constant threat, operating not just on the battlefield but in the very fabric of human and spren society. The narrative expands to introduce a critical new viewpoint character. Venli, the listener who, in the previous book, chose to become a willshaper. Venli's journey is one of profound internal conflict and redemption. She was instrumental in bringing about the Everstorm, inadvertently unleashing the fused upon Roshar. Now, burdened by immense guilt, she seeks to understand her people's true history, to atone for her past mistakes, and to find a path to coexistence between humanity and the listeners, or the singers as they are often called. Her unique perspective, straddling both sides of the conflict, offers a crucial lens through which to view the war. She struggles with the distrust of both humans and her own people, the fused. Her bond with her spren, Tamber, a rare and ancient spren of the Willshapers, grants her glimpses into the complex history of Roshar, revealing forgotten truths about the spren, the singers, and the true nature of their origins. Venli's internal battle against her own complicity, her yearning for a peaceful future, and her growing understanding of the deep-seated grievances on both sides make her a compelling and sympathetic figure. Her journey is one of slow, painful, yet ultimately hopeful, repentance. She begins to actively work against the fused, albeit subtly at first, trying to guide her people towards a path of peace, even as she risks her own life and freedom. A significant portion of the novel delves into the mechanics of fabrials, the magical technology that powers much of Rosharan civilization. Navani's research is central to this exploration. She discovers that fabrials are not merely creations, but rather tools that capture and manipulate spren. This revelation has profound implications, blurring the lines between technology and the very essence of life on Roshar. Her experiments with the sibling, her attempts to understand its unique connection to Urithiru and its spren-based mechanisms, drive a significant portion of the plot. She faces numerous setbacks, and her scientific pursuits are often met with skepticism and even hostility from those who view such investigations as sacrilegious or dangerous. However, Navani's persistence and her deep understanding of the scientific method lead her to a groundbreaking discovery. The sibling, the spren of Urithiru itself, is not merely a force of nature but a sentient being, deeply entwined with the functioning of the tower and the very health of the land. Its dormancy is a source of immense suffering for the spren of the tower, and its revival becomes paramount to the survival of humanity. Her discoveries reveal the devastating truth about the parasitic nature of some fused abilities, and the implications for the broader conflict. The very air of Urithiru begins to sicken, its light dimming, its functions faltering, a direct manifestation of the sibling's ailing state. Navani realizes that the fate of Urithiru, and perhaps even humanity, rests on her ability to heal this ancient spren. The moral complexities of the war are explored in excruciating detail. Kaladin's arc, in particular, highlights the psychological toll of prolonged conflict. He struggles with the concept of duty versus his personal well-being, the demands of leadership against his own burgeoning PTSD. His interactions with Teft, his steadfast mentor and fellow Windrunner, and with Syl, his spren, offer moments of fragile solace amidst the storm. However, even these relationships are strained by the constant pressure of war. Kaladin grapples with the fourth ideal of the Windrunners, the difficult truth that he cannot save everyone, and that sometimes saving oneself is a necessary act. His internal turmoil manifests in debilitating episodes of depression, moments where the world fades to gray and the will to fight all but vanishes. These struggles are not mere plot devices, they are a deeply empathetic portrayal of mental health challenges in the face of unimaginable pressure. The novel does not shy away from the brutal realities of war, and Kaladin's journey is a stark reminder that even the most powerful heroes are not immune to its devastating effects on the human spirit. His personal journey becomes intertwined with the broader narrative as he seeks to establish a mental health clinic within Urithiru, a testament to his growing understanding that the wounds of the mind are as real and debilitating as those of the body. He endeavors to create a space where soldiers can process their trauma, where the unspoken burdens of war can be addressed, and where healing, in its truest sense, can begin. Shallan's espionage missions become increasingly dangerous. She infiltrates the highest echelons of the fused command structure in Ciudad de Taker, relying on her wit, her lightweaving, and her ever-shifting identities to survive. Her journey is fraught with near discoveries, betrayals, and morally ambiguous choices. She finds herself walking a tightrope, constantly aware that one misstep could lead to her capture or worse. Her past, particularly the trauma of her childhood, continues to haunt her, often manifesting in unexpected ways, further fragmenting her already precarious sense of self. The more she delves into the Fused's operations, the more she realizes the depth of their desperation, the ancient grievances that fueled their hatred for humanity. She encounters Raboniel, a powerful Fused general, who embodies a chilling blend of intellect, cruelty, and weary resignation. Raboniel, a scholar and a warrior, seeks to understand the very nature of Roshar's magic, particularly the rhythms that define the Fused. Her motivations, though steeped in conflict, are complex and reveal a surprising depth to the enemy. Raboniel's relentless pursuit of knowledge mirrors Navani's, creating an unexpected intellectual rivalry that transcends the battlefield. Their interactions, though often adversarial, are marked by a grudging respect for each other's intellect. Raboniel is not merely a caricature of evil, she is a being shaped by millennia of war and loss, and her ultimate goal is to break the cycle of desolations, even if it means destroying humanity in the process. Venli's storyline offers a profound exploration of cultural identity and the devastating impact of war on a society. She serves as a bridge between the human and Singer worlds, grappling with the animosity and distrust that has festered for millennia. Her growing awareness of the Singers' true history, their connection to the Spren, and their long-standing oppression under the rule of Odium, fuels her desire for a different future. She discovers long-lost songs and rhythms, ancient traditions that hold the key to her people's liberation from Odium's influence. Her efforts to sway her fellow Singers, to encourage them to question the Fused's narrative, are met with resistance and danger. She risks exposure and punishment at every turn, yet her conviction grows stronger with each small victory, each whispered word of defiance. Her perspective illuminates the tragic cycle of violence and misunderstanding that has plagued Roshar, demonstrating that the conflict is not simply one of good versus evil, but a complex tapestry of grievances, fears, and ancient wrongs. She witnesses firsthand the brutal methods of the Fused, their disregard for Singer lives, and the insidious way in which Odium manipulates their desires for revenge. Her journey is a testament to the power of individual choice and the courage it takes to challenge ingrained prejudices. The climax of Rhythm of War is a multifaceted assault on Urithiru itself. Raboniel, working in conjunction with a powerful Fused named Leshwi, manages to disable the sibling, plunging the tower into chaos and weakening the Radiance. This attack is a direct consequence of Navani's research, which, inadvertently, provides Raboniel with the knowledge to exploit the sibling's vulnerabilities. The tower, once a bastion of hope, becomes a suffocating trap. The loss of the sibling's light is not merely an inconvenience, it is a spiritual blow, impacting the very ability of the Radiants to use their powers effectively. As the Fused flood the tower, a desperate struggle for survival ensues. Kaladin, despite his ongoing struggles with depression, is forced to rally. He pushes past his despair, finding a renewed sense of purpose in protecting the innocent lives trapped within Urithiru. His journey culminates in a pivotal moment where he must choose between the easy path of surrender to his internal demons and the arduous path of continued struggle. He finally speaks the fourth ideal of the Windrunners. I accept that there will be those I cannot protect. This moment of profound self-acceptance, the acknowledgement of his limitations, paradoxically frees him to become an even more powerful protector. It is not about saving everyone, but about doing what he can, when he can, for those he can protect. This breakthrough is not a sudden cure for his depression, but a crucial step towards managing it, allowing him to function even amidst the encroaching darkness. He becomes a beacon of light in the beleaguered tower, leading the defense, inspiring others, and showcasing the true strength that comes from embracing one's vulnerabilities. Shallan's confrontation with Raboniel within the heart of Urithiru is another powerful moment. Their intellectual sparring transforms into a direct conflict, a clash of wills and ideals. Shallan, using her myriad personas, seeks to outwit and outmaneuver Raboniel, to expose her weaknesses and disrupt her plans. This intellectual battle, combined with her lightweaving abilities, creates a tense and dynamic confrontation. She learns more about Raboniel's true motivations, her weariness with the endless cycle of war, and her ultimate desire to bring about a lasting peace, even if it means the subjugation of all sentient life on Roshar. Their conflict explores the notion of how even the most brilliant minds can be twisted by prolonged suffering and the desperate desire for an end to conflict. Shallan's journey in this climax is about integrating her fragmented self, about finding a way to harness the strength of all her identities without being consumed by them. She learns to wield her lightweaving with a new level of sophistication, not just for disguise, but for profound psychological manipulation and revelation. Navani's arc reaches its peak as she works feverishly to understand and heal the sibling. Her scientific expertise is put to the ultimate test. She discovers that the sibling, like many Spren, is being actively corrupted by Odium's influence, its light dimming, its connection to Roshar severed. She races against time, piecing together ancient knowledge and new discoveries, to find a way to restore the siblings' bond to the land, to allow it to fully re-bond with humanity and Urithiru. Her bond as a bondsmith becomes crucial here, allowing her to understand the siblings' pain and to communicate with it on a deeper level. Through a combination of scientific ingenuity and spiritual connection, Navani manages to break through Odium's corruption and reignite the siblings' light, flooding Urithiru with power and hope once more. This monumental achievement not only empowers the Radiants but also fundamentally shifts the balance of power within the tower, turning the tide against the fused. Venli, too, plays a crucial role in the climax. She confronts Leshwi, a respected fused general with whom she shares a complex history. Their interactions highlight the nuanced relationships within the fused ranks and the internal divisions that exist even among Odium's followers. Venli's efforts to awaken her fellow singers, to remind them of their true heritage and their forgotten rhythms, bear fruit. She begins to lead a subtle rebellion within the fused-controlled territories, encouraging singers to embrace their true forms and resist Odium's dominion. Her journey culminates in a pivotal moment where she uses her unique abilities as a will-shaper to help protect Urithiru, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to a future where singers and humans can coexist peacefully. Her quiet acts of defiance and her growing influence among the singers offer a crucial counterpoint to the overwhelming power of the fused. The resolution of Rhythm of War is not a definitive victory, but rather a hard-won respite in a continuing war. The fused are driven from Urithiru, but they are not defeated. Odium's influence remains a potent threat, and his true champion is yet to be revealed. The novel ends with a sense of precarious balance. Humanity has gained valuable knowledge and a renewed sense of purpose, but the cost has been immense. The sibling is awake and Urithiru is functional, but the wounds inflicted on the tower and its spren are deep. Kaladin has taken a crucial step towards healing, but his battle with depression is a lifelong one. Shallan has gained a deeper understanding of herself, but the multiple identities she carries remain a delicate balance. Venli has forged a path towards hope for her people, but the animosity between singers and humans is far from resolved. The final pages leave us with a sense of anticipation and dread. The war for Roshar is far from over, and Odium's shadow looms larger than ever. The stakes have been raised, the characters have been profoundly tested, and the very fabric of Rosharan reality has been stretched and rewoven. Rhythm of War is a deeply complex and emotionally resonant narrative, a testament to the enduring power of hope, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge in the face of overwhelming adversity. It is a story of internal battles as much as external ones, a poignant exploration of trauma, identity, and the intricate dance between duty and desire for peace. The novel's sprawling scope and intricate plotting solidify its place as a pivotal installment in a grand, ongoing saga.